Peace, everyone. It's Angelic Ray coming to you at Angelic Soul 11. And I'm just going to give it some time for people to come in. I was just feeling guided. I'm at the park, as you can see. And I just seen a bird. Bird's that? A red cardinal. So I'm just feeling guided right now to do this live, and in regards to like Mercury going retrograde and what I was picking up and what it may symbolize for you, or as us as a collective. Let's say us as a collective. And as I was walking, I'm in the park, so you can see, I found this beautiful mussel shell. So normally they come in twos, but I don't know if you can see that, like all the rainbows. Probably not because of the shading here, but it was just like I seen the rainbow glistening. Peace, 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 mindful living. Just allowing myself walking here. And I had already anticipated to going live earlier because I felt guided to, but not necessarily on this topic here. So I guess this is what I'm going to be talking about, right? Because that's how spirit works. Spirit is like, hey, I'm going to surprise you. Trust yourself, you know. And that's pretty much really what I want to get into, especially, let's see now if you can all just see the rainbow colors. Oh, it's so beautiful, and the camera's doing it no justice. Okay, so anyways, so as many of you may know, some of you may not know, Mercury is going to be going into retrograde tomorrow, and we have a few planets already in retrograde. And I was just picking up a few things of like what that's going to be, like some guidance. Let me put it that way. I'm going to see if I like sit down here. Okay, awesome. Yeah, you can see me great. So in regards to like how can this affect us, or how is it going to affect us, should I say better? And Mercury is going to be in retrograde in the sign of Cancer. And it was very interesting that I would find the shell, right? Because Cancer is ruled by the moon. That's also water energy. So you think emotions. Mercury energy is travel. It's freedom. It's communication, right? Flexibility. It's neutral. By nature, in a sense, at least by my nature, how I intuitively connect with Mercury, it is just the messenger, right? And so right now, what is Mercury's asking us is to really consider what our emotions are telling us, and how can we utilize the wisdom of our emotions to better direct us in the path in which we are going. Hi, Flex. Justy. So, pretty much I was just like, you know, connecting with the show and seeing the rainbow, and I'm like, okay, so it's going to be communicating with us all differently, but definitely in a way where listen to your intuition for the steps needed for your prosperity. Prosperity is already within us. The intuition is already within us. It's intuition. It's the wisdom. It's the notions that's inside of us already, that's connecting with us without any real explanation, right? Our ego tends to bring that explanation. So I don't want to go too deep into that. I just want to keep flowing from what I was getting. So it was in regards to matters of the home, tying up any loose ends in that which you are extremely passionate. And it's going to be affecting people differently, because we have, starting going into this, we have Venus in retrograde, but then Venus is going to be coming out of retrograde, and Venus is all about what it is that we love and what it is that we value, right? And so what it is that we value and what it is that we love tend to play a major role in our emotions, right? Because the energy that is in motion with us carries the weight that it does based on how much value we give it, based on how much energy we give it, based on how connected to the love frequency of that which is connected to we give it, right? And so this is definitely going to touch on different relationships, especially in matters of the home, matters with family. Are you really tapping into that inner child, that spirit within yourself? Are you a lot of creative projects right now, a lot of creative projects. And I was actually getting with different signs, like intuitively now. Again, please do, listen to your intuition, meditate on it, and also do some research on your chart and yourself, and take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. So this is going to be for whoever is supposed to listen to it. So if you are, let's say, a Pisces, okay, or what was the other sign that I was getting? Aries, Pisces, more the water and fire signs, but definitely those two. Right now, this is a great time for them to push forward, especially because Mars is in Pisces right now and Neptune is in Pisces. Neptune is home, and that's all talking about what are you deeply passionate about? What are you deeply passionate about, and why? And how deeply rooted is your why? Do you know why you feel passionate about this? Is this something that you are passionate about because you just know in your spirit since you was a child that this is what you was meant to do? Or is this something that you just feel guided to out of nowhere? Has it been in the back of your mind for a really, really long time and you've done nothing with it, and now you see that spirit is guiding you to do this more so? Is it things that's going on, like passionate in relations to with your parents, in relations to your siblings, in relations to your home, your foundation? Definitely a great time to, I would say, do research into home ownership, tying up loose ends, but as far as creating new contracts, definitely be mindful of that, because we're in retrograde. You want to make sure that you are double checking your I's, dotting your I's and crossing your T's. But really listen to your intuition at this time, especially with the shell. Like, that just tells me your intuition. Break free, break out of your shell, allow yourself to take risks. Let your inner light shine that rainbow. Let your chakras move in alignment with themselves, so that you can feel completely stable at this time, so that you can see how you are connecting with the energies inside your emotions. Are your emotions consuming you? Are you being consumed by your emotions? Or are you able to really get in tune with those emotions and know, but not known necessarily just in a logical way, but in a way of wisdom, in a way of your soul's wisdom that has practiced this for many lifetimes, or in the wisdom that you have learned throughout this lifetime, and what it is that you have been dealing with, the experiences you had since you was a child, and to pay attention to the signs. One of the signs, and speaking of, so Geminis and Virgos right now, because two signs, they are ruled by Mercury. Mercury is going retrograde tomorrow in the sign of Cancer, and then we have Venus with Libras, right? The scale, and really how that balances right now, I'm really feeling the guide of the cosmic mother within us, awakening the masculine energy, which is why they're really going deep. They're tapping into that the cosmic mother, the inner divine feminine within each and every one of us, and allowing that to be their drive and their determination and motivation. But this is also a good time to reevaluate, what are you addicted to? What are you, even if maybe you could be addicted to certain consciousnesses, certain thought forms, or addicted to overthinking, right? I tend to be an overthinker. So for me, it's more like, I'm going to use myself as an example because this is what Spirit is leading me to do. So I guess this is what I'm doing. Yesterday, I woke up in a very emotional state of being, and I could feel the shifts, and I'm just like, feeling the emotions, feeling it, and I had to really breathe through those emotions because it's so much energies in the air that's being collected. So especially if you are empath, or maybe you're empathic and you haven't really acknowledged that everyone has empathic abilities, and so it could be that you are now tuning into that, tuning deeper. Right? So for me, these emotions was coming up, and I had to breathe through them. And as I was breathing through them, I was able to calm down, get grounded. And then I really wanted to be active. If you see me moving down a lot, it's just, I'm probably going to move from here. As comfortable as I was, like, I'm just getting chewed up by these mosquitoes. Okay. So pretty much, yeah. I kept feeling I have so much work I have to do. I have to do this. I have to do that. I wanted to do so much. My mind was thinking. But my body and my energy levels and everything, my intuition kept telling me, just sit, be still, digest what is happening, because things that was coming up from my childhood, suppressed memories coming up, and that's a thing that's going to be happening to a lot of us, especially during this Mercury retrograde, is things are going to be coming back up. And this happens all the time, but especially more so being in the sign of Cancer, being in a water sign, where Cancer, being the moon, it's very psychic, very intuitive, very watery, very emotional, okay? But it can have these secrets, right? So a lot of hidden wisdom, hidden secrets being revealed and coming back up to us, right? But the reason bringing up the Neptune and Mars being in Pisces is, Neptune really has a way of keeping you in a space of fantasy as well, right? So you want to make sure that you are tuning into your intuition in a way where you're listening from spirit, because sometimes we are just being consumed by our emotions, and our intuition can be guiding us to a certain direction. However, the way that we processing these, or the way that we're moving, may not be the best way. And you will know based on your surroundings. It's a great time not only to listen to your intuition, but pay attention to what's around you. Subconsciously, we have all the answers. And so it can feel confusing, especially if you are an air sign at first, an air sign. You may be feeling confused at first, but because we have all the answers, the signs around us will show us if we're going in the right direction or not. Again, going back to my story, I was wanting to be busy. I go out. I decide I'm going to bust some moves. And as I'm outside, there's all this traffic. And then I was just feeling like I was playing double dutch. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm intuitively feeling like I just need to be still. But yet I'm still moving and there's all this traffic, right? So not until I'm like, you know what, let me just go home and just like breathe, woosah, and chill as much as I want to work. What good am I to others if I'm not good with myself? I'm an intuitive reader. So if I'm not listening to my divine intervention, my intuition, okay, my higher self, my true self, the universe, God within, how am I going to be able to help others? How am I going to be able to direct others? Right? So not until I listened to what my intuition was telling me, which was saying, you know what, today's not that day for you. For me specifically, today's not that day for you. All of a sudden, all the cars around me had like the number 7 on their license plate. I'm just seeing it all over the place, the number 777 everywhere. And I'm just like, whoa. I remember, and the lights started turning green, and the traffic just started flowing. And when I got home, I relaxed. I put my incense on, cleared the air, cleared my energy. And as I was doing that, I was just like, you know what? Maybe I should just like paint. And I decided to paint. I tapped into my inner child. And I started painting, and the picture came out not even fully how I envisioned it. At first, I didn't know what I was gonna paint. I didn't have an idea what I was gonna paint. I just kind of allowed myself, and it started coming out. And it's so beautiful. And I definitely didn't post it or anything like that, because like, one, is not finished, and that's a whole other thing that I was getting today, was making sure you finish what you start. Is gonna be another course of action of advice for this retrograde. Finish what you start. Okay, so let's say there's certain things that you just know right now, as much as you want to finish it, things aren't going the right way for you. Not to mention also, my car I had some car issues, and then it got cleared up though. So that's the good thing. Like, you'll see what the signs is, what spirit is telling you. Pay attention to your intuition. And when it comes down to issues of the home, remember that because it is your home is where the heart is. Okay? Home is where the heart is. And really, you can only control yourself. You can't control other people. And so because you cannot control other people, the best thing to do is tap into unconditional love. And when you start getting these triggers, okay, this is what this is talking about, your triggers. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? And don't try to just answer it right away. Really just take a notebook and just journal everything that's coming, and just let it flow. Let the emotion talk to you in that sense. Just feel it. What are you feeling? Why, and where is it rooted from? When did you first begin to have those triggers, right? Because then you can really go into the heart of the situation. You can go to the home of the situation, because that is home. The root of that emotion is the home of that emotion. Where it is, where you feel it in your body, if you allow yourself to tune in and feel it in your body, that is where that emotion is coming from. Okay? Do you feel any sensations, tingling sensations, a sharp feeling? Just, are you feeling, kind of like stuff? Do you feel like you need to stretch it out? A form of fatigue or whatever. Really try to feel it out in your body, because that's going to let you know how healthy that part of you really is. And this is about getting to your healthy self, to heal thyself. Okay? The only way you can truly heal thyself is by knowing thyself, by listening, by tuning in. This is your house first. This is your house first. This is your home first. And then the external home that you go to, that you call home, that is the reflection of what is housed inside of you. You and everyone else in that home. And so if you feeling triggered by your partner, are you really being honest with them about what it is that you're feeling? Are you really speaking your truth? Are you guys communicating well? And during this time, it can be a little bit frustrating because there can be some miscommunication, right? It can be some miscommunication because maybe you might be feeling something, meaning to say it one way, but logically saying it another way. Okay? However, I see it being a great time, especially once, I believe it's on the 27th, but definitely look that up, when Venus goes direct. With Venus going direct, your values are going to be way more loud. It's going to be louder to you. It's going to show you the prosperity of speaking your truth. It's going to, hey everyone tuning in, it's going to really allow you to see how much you've been feeding what it is that you value. Are you settling? Are you honoring your truth? Because if you're not, that's where the triggers are. And it's really, Spirit is really going to be moving things around. So that especially with Pluto and Saturn, I don't want to go too deep into those because that's not how I was picking this up. But it was more along the lines of like really like the household and really what is important to you, building foundation. For a lot of us, it's you know, we don't want to stay stuck where we're at. So you got to get the notion of stuck out of your consciousness. Release that. Energy is forever flowing and moving. You are not really stuck. It is an appearance of being stuck because you continue to feed that and staying in that bubble and moving in that bubble. Because as you are standing, even when I had to get grounded and get still, my energy was moving. I was still moving. My spirit was still moving. And I was honestly putting myself together to continue to go on the path the way I need to go in a more structured foundation, okay? In a way that was more serving for my highest and greatest good, not for a way that was serving my desires in a sense, right? Not to say that you don't want to feed your desires during this time, because, you know, your desires, whatever it is that you're passionate about, you deserve to feed some of your desires if you're working hard on it and is genuinely feeding your soul. So what I was getting with that was with the triggers, the pain, the frustration, the hurt, the anger, you know, what is it? And I'm going to go with triggers first before I go on the other side. Why are they coming up? Is it feeding your soul so that you can make some changes in your life? Or is it hurting, you know, is it feeding your soul and hurting your ego? Because if it's hurting your ego, but you're continuously, we need an ego. I'm not saying kill it all the way and everything like that for this round. But if you are consistently feeling these triggers and not wanting to make any differences in your characteristics and your mindset, like you're just stuck on, listen, this is how I'm thinking and this, that, and the third, and you're not opening up yourself to learn something new, to break free out of like looking at the whole picture, looking at different angles, right? And you're just wanting to stay in that, then you know what? Possibly this is hurting your feelings because you need to, Spirit is asking you to evolve your consciousness, evolve your thought process, change your habits. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to neglect them or you can't indulge in them, but everything is situational. There's a time and a place for everything. And that just may not be the time or the place For me, yesterday, it was not the time. It wasn't the placement. It was the time. It became the time and the place when I put myself in the place at the wrong time. That's when it became the time and the place. But guess what? I go today, it was the right time and the right place. Had I originally listened to my intuition, I would have not had to deal with wrong time, wrong place. You understand what I'm saying? But because the Capricorn in me is like, oh, work. And so, you know what? Sometimes the sacrifice and the discomfort is because the way that you are thinking versus what your spirit is guiding you to. Okay? The divine cosmic mother is within us. We are her. She is I am she. Okay? And we together as a universe can, you and I verse together our songs, creating that one song with the divine mother really allows for us to go deep into the secrets. This means that a lot of family secrets are going to be coming up to the surface to be dealt with. Oh, if you have some, childhood traumas, them things are coming up. They are coming up. Those family secrets are coming up. The same way that you see the government secrets coming up. That's everybody. Nobody is exempt from this. The veil is lifted. The truth is in your face. Okay? Now, if you are choosing in your intuition, damn, I knew that growing up, or I had that feeling or whatever, but you're still turning a blind eye, guess what? Spirit is going to definitely keep showing you what that blind eye is going to do to you. Okay? And it's going to be uncomfortable. And it can feel like a rocky roller coaster that is uncomfortable. Right? And if you don't make any changes, then guess what? The next Mercury retrograde or the moving forward, you're going to continue to feel the same way. The thing is, normal is never going to be normal. Normal is never going to, there is no such thing as normal. What is normal? What is normal? Normal is what you feed it, what you say is normal. That's normal to me. That's my habit. That may not be normal to somebody else. A person may, like eating bananas every day, and that's their normal. And somebody may not like bananas at all, and they be like, that's weird. That ain't normal, to them. To everybody's different, right? So normal is a perception. So our perceptions are going to be challenged at this time. And it is really up to you to listen to your divine voice. It is really up to you to really look at, because things are, as much as they're going to look like riddles. Okay? It's only going to be looking confusing if you're not listening, if you're not tuning in, because the answer to the riddles are right there in front of you. Okay, and how to move forward is right there in front of you. The answer to your childhood traumas are right there in front of you. And I'm learning this, and this is something that I've known to a certain degree, but it's again, to a certain degree, because spirit is forever evolving. Spirit is forever growing and changing and shifting to different elements, right? And so clearly, things that I thought I knew before start resurfacing now on an even deeper level, because we're going deeper. We're talking about how deep are you really going within yourself. This is a great time to really take your passions, your values, and go deep within that and ask yourself why. Why has it been that? Where did that come from? Why do you like something? Why do you not like something? Be open to debates, okay? And really tune in when you are listening. Does that fact resonate with you? Does it not resonate with you? Does it not resonate with you, or partially resonates with you? And allow that to just, It may not give you an answer right away. It may not give you an answer right away. But sure enough, look it. Sometimes it may seem dark, but you are protected. Sometimes, and you see how that happens? We're talking the angels, there's signs everywhere. It may seem dark. It may feel like the answers are hidden in the dark. But you are the light, okay, into the darkness. So you got to go within you, into your intuition. Allow yourself to break free from even your mind and your body for just a moment. Know that you are not stuck. You're flying free. This bird, I'm not holding the bird captive. It lost a wing. You know what? This is a broken bone. A wing is part of a bird's bones. Okay? This is a broken bird, but a broken bone, but not a broken bird. And that's a bee. Oh, man, did y'all get that? I don't know if y'all probably heard it. But this, the bird is still flying. When I got to the park, thank you, Spirit. You see, Spirit brings everything. So, I love you. So, when I got to the park, other than the shell, me finding the shell, which now y'all can kind of see. Y'all see mostly the yellow, but it's definitely rainbows in there. There was a dog, a three-legged dog. A three-legged dog running, having a good time. The dog isn't like, oh, I have 3 legs and I can't move. The dog is like, yo, I'm out. Who run faster than me? I bet you I could run faster than you, because the dog trusts his own spirit. The dog has already been so in tune with himself, him or herself, that it knows, it trusts its GPS to move places. And so the body responds to the spirit, to the commands. Are you commanding the energy and motion around you to respond to your spirit? Are you allowing the energy around you to respond to the direction of your internal map, your GPS? Because the bird is still flying. The bird was like, oh, well, I guess I had to let that one go. You know what? The dog was like, damn, I guess I got to let that one go, but I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. So let it go, right? There's going to be a lot of things. Got to let it go, fan it out, clear it out. Clear it out. And know that you are divinely protected. Know that you are grounded in your truth, in yourself, in your spirit. Okay? When it seems rocky, when things seem that it's like lights going off, cell phones going off, communicate with yourself. The other day I got lost and my cell phone died, right? I got lost, didn't know where, quote unquote lost, right? Didn't know where I was. And I had to get to another location. My phone dies. And I'm like, I took a deep breath. I'm like, I think I gotta make a right. I think I gotta go here. So I was like, well, I said I feel. Let me correct myself. I was saying I feel, because that's how I tend to say I feel. I'm like, I feel like I gotta go this way. So I go, and it wasn't until I was thinking, right? I feel I had to go a certain direction. The moment I started thinking about what it was that I was feeling, I was questioning what it was that I was feeling. Then I said, no, I feel like I'm going the right way. Let me not think too much about it. Again, I'm an overthinker. So long story short, I got to my destination perfectly fine, just by trusting in my intuition and my GPS and getting me, because I went from not knowing where I was at to looking at the landmarks, right? So we have landmarks inside of us. The energy spaces, as I mentioned before, when you're feeling your emotion, where you feel it at is home. That is a landmark for that emotion. So now if you don't really know how to get there, but you feel it there, just try to trust in your spirit to guide you towards that landmark. Because at least you have a goal. You have a destination. And it is up to you to trust yourself to reach that goal, reach that destination without being moved by everything else that's around you. The communication, the cell phones may go down everywhere else, but are you listening to your cell phone? Are you listening to your antenna? Are you listening to your calling? Are you having conversations with your divine self and listening? Because listening is just as important as speaking. So as is, yes, are you speaking your truth? Are you listening to the truth? And what is truth to you? Because feeding that ego, that honestly, a part of that may be true and a part of it may not. And that's in everything. But in wholeness, it is all truth. It is all of that. It is all of that. So it's going to be like, again, Mercury's neutral. It's going to be like, you got the free will to do whatever you want to do. The answer is still going to be there on that landmark. It's still going to be in that specific place. But if you're not choosing to listen because you think you know it all, then you know what? Once you go through your experience enough, you're going to catch the wisdom in that experience and you're going to be guided through your wisdom. So this is the time of being guided through wisdom. This is the time of being guided through your intuition and get to your destination regardless. There's no excuse. Sometimes I'll be talking, damn, I'm stumbling through my words, this, that, and the third. Mercury retrograde. No. F that. Mercury's in retrograde. Cool. I stumbled through my words. Okay. Let me correct myself. Let me get back into the spirit of how my tongue flows. Let me get back into the spirit of my voice, of my sound frequency, the song of the universe. That's only an aspect. Mercury being in retrograde or any of the planets, those are aspects of you, of the whole body you. They are not completely you and they're not completely in control of you. Unless that is what you allow. So secrets coming up, childhood secrets coming up. Are you going to continue to ignore it? Are you going to continue to suppress it? Or how are you going to choose to move forward from it? What are you going to do differently so that it no longer triggers you? How are you going to connect with the spirit of forgiveness? How are you going to connect with the spirit of unconditional love? Okay? How do you shift it into feeding what it is that you value rather than it hurting you? Because pain is part of transformation. But you have to know if it's hurting you because if it's painful because it's hurting your spirit. Because it's like you're going on a loop. You're going on a loop, so you're going to feel the pain. And not until you heal it. You got to feel it to heal it. You have to feel it to heal it. So not until you heal it does the pain go away. But if you don't heal it, you're going to keep feeling that pain. You're going to keep feeling the pain. So how do you not feel the pain? You go into it. Let your soul knows how to heal itself. It knows what to do. Sometimes what makes us happy, and this can go on matters of the home, because home is where the heart is again. Just because something makes you happy and it doesn't make sense to other people does not mean that you should settle and stop being happy to please other people. Because then you are not helping yourself. Again, if I didn't stop myself and go back and censor myself, I would have been hurting me and other people. Trying to please other people because I'm on demand. The people have me on demand. They want me now. And I'm happy to help people. I'm happy to guide people. I'm happy to connect with people. But it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. And so if I would have people pleased, I would have been doing a disservice to all of us, because I wasn't in a centered, clear-minded space to do so as I am today. If something, let's say a relationship, let's say you are in a relationship and your family doesn't agree with this relationship, especially for those that are getting and connected with divine unions right now. The divine union is first with yourself. First with yourself. Then with your reflective partner. Okay, or reflective significant other, whatever you want to call it, divine counterpart, twin flame, soulmates, whatever you want to call it. It starts with you. Your divine union starts with you, and you are completely happy with the decision of, this is my soulmate, this is my partner, but we be beefing sometimes and the family don't like it, and this, that, and the third. So now you start acting different. Why you acting different around your family? Be yourself. That fake shit is gonna be so exposed, because of what? Their opinion? It doesn't have to make sense to them. It only has to make sense to you, because you are the one that has a specific task that y'all may be on the same road, okay? But y'all may even have the same destination, but have different tasks once you get to that destination. That's like carpooling with a co-worker to go to the same job as you, okay? But one of you is a manager and in one department, the other is a manager in another department or something. Y'all got different jobs. So you can't tell the other one what to do there, because that's not your job. And your opinion is just that. But it doesn't change what you are supposed to do. So sometimes we are assigned to these relationships because we have things that we have to do. And it's not nobody else's business to really, yes, people can give us advice. And it's good to consider people's advice. But again, listen to your intuition. Listen to the truth. Listen to your map. Pay attention to your map. And you will be directed well, because the signs will show you. And if you're feeling confused, that's part of a riddle right there. Okay, am I in the right place? You always and when you're in your path, everything is exactly as it should be. That doesn't mean that that's good or that's bad. It just is what it is. You there exactly why you there, because you put yourself there. Take accountability for putting yourself there. It's about time that you recognize you are the map, you are the traveler, you are the home, you are it all. And you divinely guided yourself there for whatever purpose. Maybe if you're circling back into a situation, maybe you needed a reloop, so that you can get another point of view. So then you can listen to that and say, okay, you know what? This time it feels different. It feels different. Now, if it feels different, it's the signs, right? Because it's the feeling. It's the psychic wisdom, okay? That now you know better. It feels different, so that means you do different. If it feels different, but you're doing the same, what are you doing? You're doing the same thing. It feels different, you do different. Even if, let's say, it's reconnecting with a partner, okay? You guys are reconciling because you've changed and the person changed, right? This time it feels different because they changed, and they actually changed. Guess what? You have to relearn that person. Unlearn what you thought you knew about that person now, and get to know them all over again, because they've changed, they've evolved, and they're different this time, as are you. They have to relearn you, and it works both ways. It's not just one way. It works both ways. But if it don't feel different and you just putting yourself to reconcile because, oh, I love them and this, that, and the third, good. Love is a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing. Oh, I love them. That's my family member. That's my mother. That's my father. And I feel like, if I move this way, it's going to hurt their feelings. But you know what? That may be the exact move you need to fucking make so that it wakes you up and it wakes them up. And it's going to be in your face. And once you'll see it like a domino effect. It's just going to all go into its place. Or a puzzle piece. You're going to, that fit right there. Now everything is coming all together. But if you see it falling apart, and you know what? That might be exactly what it needs. It needs to fall apart. It depends where you're at in your life. For everybody, is different. For some of you, it's the breakdown. And honestly, it's always breaking down and building up in different areas in your life. Which is why this is going to affect us all differently in different areas of our life. But the commonality is our intuition. The commonality is the one song. The commonality is the journey, the process, that how the energy is, right? That's what we have in common. But the senses, this is why they say common sense is not so common. Because what you are sensing in that space may not be, it may not be your message. God don't give everybody the same message, because you know what? Not everybody is supposed to work the same exact way. Doesn't mean that we're not supposed to work together. You want to work together. You want to collab. But in order for you to collaborate with others properly, you have to really be in tune with yourself. Now is a great time to be looking into a new home, home owning or building land or building your brand, connecting with yourself, really getting into what it is that you truly want to build for your future, that you felt this since you was a child. You felt this or maybe it wasn't since you was a child, but from the moment you felt it. For some of you, this is building a family. This is really because it's about bringing that divine union. And it's like, you know what? Although this doesn't make sense to my family, it makes sense to both of us. It makes us completely happy. This may be an unconventional relationship to others, but this is what feels right to us. And that might be the person that you're supposed to build a family with, that you're going to build harmony and union with. You know what I mean? So it's really listening to your internal guidance. Really allow yourself, pay attention to dreams. This is really going to allow you to, if you want to practice like lucid dreaming, or this is a great time for all of that, because you're going to be diving even deeper to yourself, letting go. This is going to be remembering. See, with me, part of my trauma, I forgot a lot of things. My memory, I went from having a really good memory to having a shitty ass memory. And then a lot of things just started coming up. Oh, I remember that. You remember that? I remember that. Not always in excitement. Some of it was like, I started bawling, crying. Damn, I remember that. Feeling out of control in my emotions, because I remember something that triggered me so deep. I feel better today. Today's a new day. Be in the present moment with what it is that's coming up from the past. How is it serving you now? Did you learn anything from what it is that's coming up for you to remember? It's coming up so that you could remember it. Okay, now how does it fit to your puzzle? How did you remember it back? Where did it fit? Where did it fit? Are you morphing so it no longer fits in the same space that it was at, and it needs to now be placed in another space in yourself? Or it needs to be positioned a certain other way? Listening to your intuition to get you there. As far as for new mothers, that's what I was getting with like the new mothers thing. Really, this is going to be a great time to be connected with your child's spirit and your body, and how that really, like, the psychic abilities super enhanced right now, super enhanced. Your sight, super seeing beyond the veil. There is no veil. I really feel like it was Spirit's way of saying, like, that veil's been gone. Now it's up to those that really tap in to see what's happening, to look at the big picture, from their conscious to the subconscious, the whole of the picture. That's not always easy to see. Riddles aren't always easy to answer. That's why they're called riddles. But it doesn't mean that we don't have the answer already. The answer, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Hold on a second, I can't. So that was really what I was feeling guided to say. Pay attention to that which feels hidden. It's not really hidden. It's hidden in plain sight. Let's say that. Hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. It definitely feels like this is a time of unity as well, because of the home, and especially with the clam, right? The clamshell. When I got the clamshell, not only was it talking about emotions and intuition, but I was like, oh, which half are you feeding yourself right now? And because the shell comes in two shells, really, and that's what makes it whole, right? And so it was half of it was one, right? And pretty much, the unity of it. Are you feeding one half of you more? Are you half-assing things as well? Or are you putting yourself in completion? I know with me, I have to finish some things that I started. And it's not like I'd be like, oh, I forgot. You know what? Get a journal. If I know I'm so forgetful and this and that, have a notepad, a planner, whatever it may be, so that I'm getting, it's teaching me, as much as I have Capricorn in me, organization. I'm like, really, okay, because that wasn't something that I fully valued to the full. I half-assed valued being organized, right? Because I love to be free. So I love to freestyle, right? But sometimes that freestyling shit doesn't get you. Right now, this is a whole freestyle video, right? And I was able to channel and give you whatever it is I was supposed to give you. And I'm going to finish what I started. But sometimes freestyling things, you know what? It might just get you to a fucking loop. And then you like, damn. But when you stop and pause, and again, time and place, but your intuition's gonna tell you that. Your intuition's gonna tell you if you in the right, if it's the right time and the right place for that. Because for a lot of people, they're confused, and the answers are right there in plain sight. A lot of let's say again, like with the partnerships, but let's say like baby mothers and baby fathers, for lack of better terms, right? The father and mother of your children, where you may not be in a relationship with them. A lot of issues of that is going to come up, so that you guys can learn to co-parent in the way that, or are you supposed to co-parent, or were you just there, and it's not, are you speaking, there we go, that's where Spirit's trying to go. Let's say you're not co-parenting, right? And the child is growing up with you. Are you speaking negatively about their other half, the other parent? Let's say it's a mother, for an example. And this mother is raising her child, and she's constantly speaking bad about the father, right? But now this child grows up, and they see that they have tendencies of their father in which their mother always spoke negative about. And so then they start to love themselves less. They start to judge themselves more, because half of them is different from their mother, because half of them has another characteristic that the mother has not learned to love unconditionally, because she is still criticizing it, she is still judging it for whatever reason. And so now this child doesn't feel like they can be their whole self. Now let's go into a household where there's a single mother and she allows the child to, and she's like, oh, just like your father, you know, your father used to do that, and I didn't always understand why they did that and everything like that, because I wouldn't do it that way. But it's interesting to see how you are doing it, how you picked up that characteristic. And you know what, if it's something bad, you know, if this is something quote unquote bad, let's say like they're murdering animals or something like that, you know, and you don't want them to grow up like a psychopath or whatever, you know. Or, you know, I've always known that, you know, these characteristics running your family or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it just for fun. You know, back in the days, they did it for food. They did it for food. That's where the hunting came from, for survival, and start teaching them in a different way, in a healthy way. So that way when they tap into that, they're not just going to sit there and kill for the adrenaline. They're not going to sit there to kill to release their traumas or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not a doctor, but this is just what is the common sense for me. This is, you know, you take, again, what resonates and leave behind what doesn't, but this is just what's coming through right now for whoever needs to hear this. All right, I don't personally do not have children, so I can't tell a person really how to be a parent, but I can just tell you what I'm getting. Okay, let me, one moment. Where is my dog? Okay, she's over there. And so that's another thing. Or even with like the fathers, you know, and vice versa. That goes both ways. With the parents that are single parents, not co-parenting. And when it's co-parenting, this is a great opportunity right now to come down with what is really important for the child, and making the best decisions for the child in that way. Okay, this is a time of teaching our children the original natural order of thyself. Okay, the natural order of thyself. And you have to lead by example. So if you're so confused and you ain't got nothing else to do, you know what? Just sit in meditation. If you see a child there and they not really doing nothing or whatever, just like, you know, allow them to do what they're doing. That's their form of meditation. Or you could have them to say, hey, do you want to sit down and meditate with me? However you want to teach them, because there's many different forms of meditation. Okay, and that's the key to unlocking these divine secrets, the divine wisdom within you, to tapping into that divine protection, to tap into your GPS and your knowing. Okay, so this retrograde is really it's gonna nitpick at your triggers and what is really hitting home for you. Damn, that shit is hitting home. You can't even run from it because you're not working and this, that, and the third, and you home. And you know what? Even if you leave and you come back home, you still got to deal with that shit, because you got to deal with yourself. And once you start dealing with yourself, you're releasing that. I'm so excited for this summer. Like, all this energy just has me really excited, because, you know, soon also Mars right now is in Pisces, but it's going to be going back to Aries, right? And having that energy, that's going to be the motivation, the determination. That's root chakra too. But that's the fire, the drive. That's the solar plexus. That's the passion in there. That's the fire in your heart. Home is where the heart is. You moving your ka, you in your Merkaba. You moving in the divine alignment of your map. There is no competition. Everything is in divine order and placement, just for you. And when it's in divine order for you, it becomes in divine order for everyone else. Guys, that's my time right there. Instagram's about to log me off. I guess that's all I needed to say. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope to see you all again. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, I guess just drop it down below. If not, till next time, peace, y'all.